What is up? What is up, everybody? Jay Budget's back on the track with another video. This video is for the lucky few who are testing out my income allocation sheet. So yours may look a little different. It's going to be two more columns here. I got rid of those columns. I felt like they were extra, so I took out the rule about that column C as well. So very simply put, you type the type of bill into group A, into column A: rent, lights, water, phone. Right. Let's just say those are your bills, right? Let's say your rent's 500, lights are 200, water is 100, and phone is 200. Let's just make it simple. Right? Let's say these are your monthly bills, okay? Let's say you make a check, right? Like I said, everybody gets paid differently. Might be weekly, bi-weekly, 2 times a month, daily, whenever it comes. Don't matter. Every time you get some money, you'll know exactly how much you need to put into it in order to make sure you have enough to hit your goals. Makes it very clear for you to see where your money is and where it's going. So I'm just adding a couple more icons down here that I feel like are very, very important. You definitely can put what you choose based off what your risk appetite is, or if you don't want to save that much because you already have ample savings or whatever. Just this is fully customizable to you, and you can do as you please. So the last thing is going to be spending. Okay, let's say you want to put 200 in spending. 200 in savings, 300 in investing, and 200 in spending. All right. Oh, my apologies. 500. I want to make the numbers even, make it simple. 500. So now you're at 2,000. All right. So let's say you work a job where you make 15 an hour. Right? 40 hours a week. Okay. Typically, it's 4 weeks in a year. 4 weeks in a month. That means you would be making, which is 15 times 40, you'd be making 600 a week. So you got paid every week. Let's type in 600 here. When we type in 600 here, what happens is you'll see the allocation amounts have changed, right? So the allocation amount really lets you know, hey, you made 600 bucks. 150 of that needs to be allocated to the rent envelope or rent prepaid card or rent, however you keep your monies divided. 150 needs to go to the rent card, the rent fund. 60 needs to go to the lights fund. 30 needs to go to the water fund. 60 needs to go to the phone fund. Now, like I said, that's a week. Let's say, boom, just being honest. Let's say you hit a lottery ticket, right? Let's say you take, I don't consider playing lotteries investing, but whatever, to each his own. Let's say you spend 20 bucks on lottery and you make 300, right? You would put in 300 here, and it would tell you, hey, out of that 300 you got, these are the amounts that need to go towards these bills. And see, that's what and a lot of people don't think about the phrase pay yourself first. This right here, savings, investing, spending, that's paying yourself first. You're making yourself a part of your bills, which means you have to keep adding to that. You have to keep feeding into yourself, because you can't do nothing for nobody else if you can't do nothing for you. Straight up, no chaser. So no matter what, even Mom Dukes give you $100 for your birthday, $100, put it in. Now you know how the $100 need to be split up. This way, there is no period of time where money is not getting put into a place where it needs to be. Now, of course, there's a degree of feasibility to this thing. If you bring home $3 for whatever reason, you found it on the ground, it don't make sense to find a way to break down that $3 into all this change to break that up. That just doesn't make sense. So, of course, you use a little bit of a common sense on that part. And at the same time, another side is you'll notice that, let's say down here it shows that the total amount to hit all goals and pay all bills is $2,000, right? let's say you put in a whole bunch of work and you make 4 bands. You bring home a check for 4 bands. This 4 bands is not gonna just put 2,000 into these numbers here, and then the other 2,000 goes out into nothing. This right here, this 4 bands lets you know, hey, you need to put 500 into rent. I mean, you need to put 1,000 into the rent. You need to put 400 into this, 200 into that, 400. It lets you know. So with that being said, you're thinking about, well, my rent's 500. Well, if I bring in 4,000, that means two months of rent can be paid now. That fund has enough money for 2 months of rent. So if for the next month, let's say you got 2 months or 3 months of rent stacked up, you may not want to allocate rent on the next pay period or the next paycheck. So you don't put any rent in. And let's say let's say, oh, we're gonna have a tough week that week. It's gonna be a tough week that week, and you're only gonna get 1,000. Still breaks it down for you, and you can change it. Let's say, oh, if you want to change rent back, you put rent back in there. Boom, it fixes it. It'll fix it for you. So I just wanted to make sure I went through this for you. If you guys have any questions, concerns, anything for me, let me know. You guys are getting it for free. After probably, I'm thinking after I get a little bit of feedback from you guys, and maybe beginning of December, a little bit after that, maybe I'm thinking about putting a price tag on it. Not much. It wasn't hard for me to make. It's just a tool that I feel like could help a lot of people. So for me to be able to continue to do stuff like that, I have to be able to make some income, making things like these. So once again, thanks guys. J Budgets on the track. I'm out.